What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, we have to talk about Marvel's Avengers doubling down on its leveling system. So I know, I covered this already. I covered this on the main channel later last week. I was considering putting this on the main channel, but I thought, you know what? Let's do maybe the conclusion of this story on the second channel. So for those of you that don't know, let's go over what already happened, and we can kind of catch people up. Basically, Marvel's Avengers made leveling longer. They made it slower, I guess, to level up. So when you level 1 through 25, so there's 50 levels, 1 through 25, now technically you kind of level up a little bit faster in those levels. But 25 to 50, you level up slower, okay? You level up a lot slower. And that was what they announced last week. That was going to coincide with the next-gen upgrade as well as Hawkeye, okay? Now, I had a big problem with that. I think a lot of people had a big problem with it. I think some people, and this is totally valid too, by the way, some people looked at it, and I kind of did too, as you're focusing on leveling, which wasn't the main problem. Like, maybe you could argue different parts of leveling are kind of messed up in whatever way you want, but the general gist of this game, whether you love it or hate it, the leveling really isn't the main thing. So, like, if you're going to focus on something, why don't you put your effort on something else, okay? That was what a lot of people looked at, and I totally agree. I look at it as a sign of desperation, and I think honestly both of them go hand in hand. This is 100% them trying to get people to stay longer and taking a really scummy approach to it, where it's like, okay, how do we get people to stay longer? Well, do we make it fun? Do we add things? Do we, like, up that at all? No, leave that. We don't need to, I mean, that's already perfect. Let's focus on the leveling. Let's make it harder and longer for them to level up, so they have to keep playing the game that they really aren't all that much in love with to level up to level 50, and then if they want to do it with all the characters, well, now it'll just take them even longer, okay? I don't remember where I saw it. Maybe it was IGN. I saw a quote. Now, they doubled down on this. They talked about how, they said, elaborating on those pacing issues, Crystal Dynamics explained that players were leveling up too quickly. Judged by who, by the way? Often gaining 2 to 3 levels per mission, which isn't exactly true. And that the influx of new skill points could be confusing or overwhelming. Oh, that was another part. They think that we're idiots. Oh, actually, no, they have this, they have the quote that I want to talk about. But basically, telling us that when you level up too fast and you get skill points that are very easy, you just put them into anything. When you level up to 50, you will have if skill points to get every single thing that your character can get. So it really isn't confusing whatsoever. I guess if you want to know, if you're confused as to what to put the skill points in next, but I mean, every game under the sun has skill, that's like this, has skill points, and they kind of leave it up to you. If it gets a little confusing, sucks to suck, but you figure it out. And again, if eventually, as you level up, you'll probably be able to get, some games you can get everything, some games you can get most things, right? Some games there's like certain things that if you don't go down a certain leveling path, you can't unlock. But like, it's up to the game, and it's up to the players to make that choice. They word it, They try to make it, it's like, well, it's too confusing to new players. Well, you're kind of calling new players idiots then, because, that's really the only thing you can say. These changes should slow things down, giving players more breathing room to explore builds, adding a total of around 3 to 5 hours to your climb to the level cap. So there it is. Now, I saw that quote on IGN. I was hoping that that PC Gamer had it as well. So basically, they admitted, and I tweeted this out, by the way, they admitted that by doing this, they are adding 3 to 5 more hours to get your player, or your character, to a level 50, okay? So if it took you however many hours in the first place, it now takes you, an extra 3 to 5. Now, what I will say is, I don't know about you guys, I leveled up. Like, I got to level 50 before I maxed out my gear. It did take me another 10 to 15 hours to do my gear, but I didn't know the trick at the time, because there is a trick to kind of get basically like higher level gear a lot faster, okay? I didn't know about that. If I did know about it, then I probably could have done it in a fraction of the time. I may have even been able to level up my gear before my player. So kind of depends on how you play the game, right? But I think it's laughable. I really do think it's laughable. look at it more from a getting angry at this angle more than even, again, like you're focusing on this versus anything else. I mean, again, they're admitting I mean, and again, they really are hand in hand, because they're admitting here that they're adding 3 to 5 more hours of you playing their game, which is a sign of desperation. They're saying, okay, we need people to play this game longer, and so how do we add an extra day or two to their play their play sessions? Well, you can make leveling harder, like harder to reach, and then that would probably keep them for an extra like 2 days, and that's kind of the level that they've stooped to. You know what I mean? And then again, on the other hand, you look at it and you say, okay, you could, like, again, whether you love it or hate it, it doesn't matter, because I know there's plenty of people that love this game. I know there's plenty of people that despise this game. I know there's plenty of people that also don't care. But it doesn't matter where you stand, the biggest weakness with this game is the end game content. There's not enough of it. There's too much repetitiveness. You're facing the same enemies in the same areas, doing the same things over and over and over again, and that's not what they've chosen. Now, yes, they have added more stuff since launch. It's still a very bare game, but you know, they're like, okay, well, you know, we've done our work for there for now. Like, we'll add to it later, but for now, we really got to tackle this insane leveling thing, because we know that players literally, they're getting 2 skill points at a time, and their brains explode, and they like have to turn off the console and say, I'm done. I don't know how to press the X. I don't know how to level up. I don't know how to do it, and that's I mean, again, I didn't even realize how stupid it sounded until, because I've already, you know, covered that kind of quote. But again, like, when you, let me ask you guys, okay, you know, me to you, we're a tight-knit community here, okay? In a game, doesn't even have to be Avengers, when you get more than 1 skill point, do you panic and like pee your pants? Like, is that the first thing that you do when that happens, because you just can't handle the influx of skill points? Because obviously, if you have a nervous breakdown because you got too many skill points at once and you just don't know what to do, don't call your local helpline. Go to Marvel's Avengers, because clearly, and this is basically an ad for them, by the way, because basically they've figured out a way to make it easier. And you know what? I don't even remember leveling up that fast. To be honest with you, I played the game, I've said this before, I played the game for about a month straight. Every single night I played for around 3 hours, and especially towards the end, especially like, I would say 35 to 50, like level 35 to 50, I didn't level up fast whatsoever. At least I didn't think so. And I really don't remember leveling up more than one time a mission. Like, I played so many missions over and over and over again. I don't remember leveling up multiple times. And that was, I do remember like 30, 35, somewhere around there, it did get harder to level up. Well, now they just made it even harder, because now they've started at 25. And then secondly, they've made it harder even, in the first place. I don't care if it's even adding an extra hour. You know what I mean? Like, they could come out and the tweaks could be so small, maybe nobody even notices that they added a little bit of play length to it. The point is, they've admitted it. The point is, they've admitted that they're desperate for people to play this game longer, and they're choosing the wrong thing to sink time and effort on their part. Because again, I think some of these people are very talented, I'm sure. I mean, you don't get to make a game like this. You don't get this far to have 0 talent. So I do think they're able to do more. It's just that for whatever reason, well, no, we know the reason. It's a game, it's a live service game. The point is to keep you longer, and the point for them is to do as little work and to make it as non-fun as humanly possible. Other games would try to make it, okay, well, let's have a new season, like a Fortnite, or like Apex. Let's add new endgame content. Let's make it fun so that people want, let's make a brand new mode, let's say. Now, again, I do understand there are some of these things that get added, but let's add a brand new mode that, who knows, maybe some people will play 50 hours in this mode because it's so fun. Like, maybe some people just really like it. No, they're not going to do that. They're just going to make leveling harder. So I could talk about this all day. Let me know, again, if you guys pee your pants when you get more than 1 skill point at a time. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, so you know when all these videos go up. I do a brand new video every single day on this channel, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's.